What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Big O back in the building with yet another brand new video. Just want to take a second to say thank you to everyone who's tuning in. I hope all of you are having a glorious day. And welcome to the first video of 2019. Here we have my subadult male narrow bridge musk turtle, scientific name Claudius angustatus, and his name is Mr. Shady. The reason we're watching him right now is because at the top of my 2019 turtle to-do list, first thing in order is to provide this handsome young boy with a brand new enclosure. He's in a 55-gallon tank right now. It's filled all the way to the top, being filtered by this FX6. Some might say it's a bit of an overkill, but with turtles, there is almost no way you can overfilter, unless it's a hatchling. But that's for a whole nother video. We have some driftwood, basking area with some tile, our lighting units. And there really is nothing wrong with where he's at right now. He has plenty of room. He's just over 4 inches SCL, that's straight carapace length. There's a little bit of growing to do, not that much. And like I said, he's totally fine in this enclosure, but I would really like to get him in something a little bit bigger, most likely a 75-gallon tank. And I was thinking about how I'd like to put it together and what sort of structures and how I want it to look and do I want substrate or not and all these things. And I decided to take sort of an inventory of all the materials that I have on hand right now, the things that I kind of like to use to, for all my little DIY stuff for my turtle tanks. So I said, why not make a video? Before I get into it, there is a video that's been on YouTube for quite some time. It's been years now. The name of the channel is Bauri Bob, B-A-U-R-I, and he has a video, and I think it's entitled stuff to use in your turtle tanks or something like that. But anyways, I'm not gonna say it's a pretty long video, but it's has a decent length to it, and it goes into some detail about all the things that he's used in his enclosures. By the way, he has one of the most tremendous enclosures I've ever seen. But some of these ideas I definitely got from that video, mainly the PVC stuff. But just wanted to kind of throw that out there. I'm not trying to claim that I'm like the originator of any of these ideas or anything like that. I will try to find it and put a link in the description to the video. But like I said, the name of the channel is Bowery Bob. I'm not really sure how often he posts anymore. But again, I'll try to find a link and just put it in the description. So, getting into my little inventory here. First things first, I have this plastic hardware cloth. It's just about, let's see here, it's just about 3 feet wide, and there it goes, down goes Frazier. And it's very pliable, it's very soft, it's almost rubbery, and I like to use this to cover like the basking areas and the ramps leading up to the basking areas, especially for smaller turtles, because in this egg crate, if the turtles are small enough, their feet would probably go right through the egg crate. So I like to just sort of cover it with this stuff. It gives them a better grip, and it just helps them out getting to where they need to go. That's mostly what I use it for. It's lasted me a tremendous amount of time. I've had this one roll for at least 4 years, and it's probably only not even halfway done. And it's very cheap, readily available, and it's definitely aquarium safe because I've used it, and I continue to use it in enclosures that have both fish and turtles in it, and everybody seems to be doing fine. So no need to worry about anything like that. I got this particular roll at Home Depot. I'm sure you can find it at any hardware store, especially the big name ones, whatever is nearest to you or wherever you prefer. But yeah, it's definitely a recommended item in your arsenal of DIY materials. Moving on, we have the egg crate. If I lift this up, you can see it's almost an entire sheet. I cut off a little piece right here for some repairs that I had to do a few weeks back, but I'll stand this up here. Let me move back just so you get an idea. Whoops! Just so you get an idea of how big it actually is. And again, you can find these at Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that. And they run anywhere from 12 to 15 bucks from what I've seen. And really it's, you know, on my sort of DIY kind of thing, it's the material I've been using the longest. And as you can see, I use it a lot. I use it on all my basking areas, the ramps, canopy type structures that I build. Got them on these tanks back here as well. And if we look, I got them on that one as well. So really is the I guess the meat and potatoes of my inventory. Many things you can build with this. Just need a little bit of imagination and just a little bit of ingenuity. None of these items that I'm showing off, you don't have to be some sort of craftsman to be able to know what to do with them and to be able to build nice things. They're very easy to use as long as you have, you know, a couple of really simple, inexpensive tools. And you know, it's, for me, it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy doing this stuff. So moving on, we have another very important material in our DIY inventory. This is PVC pipe, used mostly by, you know, plumbers and such. These particular two pipes, I think they're, let's see, yeah, these are 3/4 inch, as we can see right there. You don't necessarily need to go this big. The reason I have these is because I got them for free, so you know, can't beat that. I would usually use 1/2 inch, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with going a little bit bigger. These are great for building basking areas. You can build dividers. You can build, you know, shallow water platforms. You can build, you know, frames for basking areas and for canopy type structures, and you know, the list goes on and on and on. They come like in 10-foot segments, I guess. Just gotta cut them down, and again, all you need is just a little imagination, and it's kind of, the possibilities are really endless when you think about it, because there are many different sort of fittings and like couplings and different like parts that you can buy. If you give you an example, I built this out of PVC, and we have all these different like pieces that help you connect them in different ways, and you know, it really is just up to you how far you want to take it and what exactly you want to do with it, because again, the possibilities are really endless, you know. And definitely will be using this stuff in my new enclosure. I think I'm gonna build some sort of like shallow water platform with some type of cave at the bottom. Still kind of thinking about how I want to design it. But yeah. Next up on the list is zip ties or cable ties, however you want to call them. These I like to use to hold my egg crate structures together. If you look here, if you look closely, right here, you got the zip ties all over the place. And that is how I like to hold these things together. All you gotta do, measure. See, there's more zip ties. I like to cut the ends off of them. I forgot to cut this one, but I think you get the picture. You know, got more zip ties right here. We got more here. Same thing with all my other enclosures. If you look at the top, just to give you an example of how I use these things. And you know, it's very sturdy. Like, I'm really overdoing it right now. They're probably disturbing the hell out of these turtles, but this will give you an idea of how sturdy it is, and you know how it's not gonna go anywhere. Like, you really gotta force it to break it, you know. But just to give you an idea of how durable it can be once you put it together correctly. And as far as the tools, we got a few. Come back over here. Got a few tools that I like to use. These are some pliers. I forget the exact name of these type of pliers, but what I like to use these for is to cut the ends of the zip ties, sort of like this. I might as well do this now, just to go on camera. And it's just a simple, quick, easy way to cut the zip tie. Also, what you can do is, if you need to trim a piece of the the egg crate, rather. 1 second, bear with me here. You can just kind of do that and get the flat part like up against the flat part of the PVC, and it generally is a very clean cut. Just give that a little. You can kind of see how that works. And sometimes, as you can see, the cut isn't that clean. And that's where these come in. These are some metal files. And if I'm building something for my turtles to, you know, kind of crawl on, you want to sort of make sure that there aren't any sharp edges that they can, you know, cut themselves with or anything like that. So just kind of, you know, file them. It's a little difficult to do this with one hand, but you get the picture. You just kind of like file it down, and it'll create a very smooth surface. And you don't have to worry about your turtle getting snagged on a pointy edge or getting, you know, scraped or cut or anything like that. And also, almost forgot, also what you can do is, suppose I wanted, again, please bear with me. Suppose I wanted to cut a pretty large section off of this egg crate. Let's say I wanted to make this piece and take it all the way down so I can get this one large rectangular piece off of there. What I can do is, I can just kind of, I'm not gonna actually do it because I don't want to sacrifice this egg crate, but I can kind of just like, I'll do just one. Just see, I broke off a piece there. You can kind of just like go a little harder and just go all the way through here without having to sort of cut one by one, or with, you know, without even trying to do it by hand, which would probably be a nightmare. But yeah, you can use the file to easily break off large sections of the egg crate. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention about the pliers is I also use this particular set of pliers to cut this plastic hardware cloth. I also have a large pair of shears. I think they're gardening shears, which I forgot to bring out for the video, but that's another thing I like to use to cut the plastic hardware cloth, because it's basically like a large pair of scissors, and it goes through this stuff like butter. And now that I mention it, would imagine that a large, strong pair of scissors would work just as well. Okay, moving on. We have these bad boys right here. This is PVC shears. And wait a minute, is this thing? Okay, so if I can only, well, right about now, it's kind of difficult to open it up, but yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do this with one hand. But anyways, these PVC shears, you know what? I'm gonna stop right here and come back because I really want to show off these shears. And we're back, and I just opened up the shears. I needed both hands to do it. So what we'll do is, so all you gotta do, again, open them up and just kind of, you hear that clicking sound. That's every time you squeeze the shears, the grip sort of gets smaller to fit whatever pipe that you need to cut. So now that you know you're pretty much right there, you don't want to just keep squeezing and cut right through it. You want to like get a really good grip and kind of hold on to the PVC with one hand and rotate the shears back and forth until you feel them sort of cutting into the PVC. Give it kind of a score, and then you just keep on squeezing. And there it is. Let's see. Cut is not really that bad. If, as you can see, it's not like exactly straight. I'm sure if I would have actually scored it properly, it would have been a much cleaner cut. Let's take a look at the other piece. Not that bad. Or was it this side? Yeah, it's definitely this side. See, it's not exactly, you know, straight, but I'm sure you get the idea. So, PVC shears. This is a must-have. Sometimes if you have just like a hacksaw or whatever, you can definitely use that to cut the PVC, but this is way simpler and easier. And this is also a very inexpensive tool, and I got this at Home Depot as well. Moving on, we have my Krylon Fusion. This is, I have it in camel green and I have it in black. This is, I guess it's supposed to be specifically made for plastic, and it is aquarium safe. And I use it to, you know, color my PVC pipes and my egg crate. If you look over here, it's what I use to color the platform for the nest box. And if you look here, it's what I use to color this egg crate black, which I need to stop being so lazy and finish and paint the rest of them black. As you can see, this one's halfway done. And if you've been watching my videos, you know that it's been like this for months. But you know, it's just not the most important thing, and you know, that's really why I haven't gotten around. So it's just been lazy. It's no excuse. But gives you an idea of how things would look if you just used it, you know, as it comes, or if you colored it black. I just like the way it looks because it kind of just matches the aquarium, gives everything more of a uniform look. I feel like this is the example I should be showing off. It's completely blacked out. And I think it looks really nice. I have heard that you can buy PVC already, I'm sorry, egg crate already in a black color, but I've never seen it myself. So this is the method that I've been using. And again, the Krylon Fusion comes in tons and tons of colors, so it's really up to what you feel like you want to do with it. Same thing with the PVC. It works great for the PVC. Turtles will scratch it up after a while, but you know, you can always just repaint it. I personally wouldn't exactly like to use any really bright colors or anything like that, but you know, you can go nuts with this stuff if you're really feeling it. And at the risk of having made this video a little bit too long, that is pretty much what I like to use for all my DIY projects. I will be bringing you all the step-by-step stuff that I'm actually going to really be doing for Mr. Shady's new enclosure. Definitely be doing videos on all that stuff. So stay tuned. Appreciate your time. Thanks again to everyone who's tuning in. And until the next time, happy reptile keeping. Peace.